Hi, it's Ben from My Cycling Coach. I hope you're well and that you're having a great day. So I've been speaking to a lot of riders on the page recently who have been explaining to me they've started their winter training. However, they are not seeing the gains that they would like to from the time and effort that they are putting into this training at the moment. And one thing that a lot of these riders are doing, they're using many of the new platforms that are now available to us through the winter to continue riding our bikes, which are absolutely fantastic. And many of these platforms do also offer training sessions and plans that you can follow to continue your riding through the winter, which, as I say, is fantastic. However, one thing that I'm finding at the moment is I'm asking these riders what sort of sessions are they doing as part of the program or plan that they are following with these sessions. And many of the riders are saying that during one session, they will be hitting multiple different zones. Let's say that this session could be 45 to 60 minutes in length. In that one session, the riders have been saying they've been doing zone 2, tempo, threshold, VO2 max work, some 10-second sprints, some 30-second sprints, maybe some 5-minute efforts. And this is all within one session. And I've been asking riders, are you not finding this a bit too complicated during the session or a bit confusing as part of that training ride? And they're saying, well, you know, these sessions are designed to try and keep, you stimulated through the session, not be boring, so that you are, staying engaged during the session. And I've been saying, well, I don't know about engaged there, but I'd probably find that if I was doing a session like that, you're spending more time focusing on trying to find the right gear and changing gear for all of those different intensities and different intervals, rather than actually accumulating time in one specific zone that is going to allow you to improve your fitness, your power and your goals and work towards your goals this winter. So I wanted to do a quick tip on the page today, as you might be doing the same thing. You might be continuing your riding through the winter now. You've got a program in place, a plan, which is fantastic. You are riding your bike through the week, which is absolutely brilliant. However, you may also be struggling with some of these training sessions, hitting lots of different zones in a session, not having one specific focus to the session there, and then also not seeing the right progress or feel like you're making the progress for the time that you are putting in. And I wanted to say today that there really is no school like the old school when it comes to training, specifically through the winter, the training methodology that you should adapt here. Really try to keep it as simple as possible. And this is one thing you can do with this is, firstly, before you start a session, or let's just go back a step even there. Let's say you're going into the winter now and you're going to break down your winter into 4-week blocks, for example. Really try to pick a specific focus that you would like to work on during this training block. And this could be based off of maybe some of your weaknesses that you found during last summer. So it might be hill climbing, it might be you'd like to improve your FTP, you might like to improve your top end power, it might be that you'd like to work on your endurance. So if you identify that, that's fantastic. Once you've got that, it's then to really keep it simple with the training session. And rather than doing an interval program or session where you are hitting 5 different zones within the one training session, maybe zone 2, then tempo, then back into zone 2, then threshold, VO2, just pick one zone that you are looking to improve. And this will then, you want to try and align this with your goal. So if it is your FTP, if it's your VO2 max zone or your top end power, you probably then want to pick some specific threshold or VO2 max intervals and just have that as your main interval during a session. So build out your session, go for your warm-up, say today I'm going to do 4 or 5 just VO2 max intervals as an example, and between those intervals I'm going to do some zone 2, or you might have a bit of recovery, lower recovery depending on the intensity of that VO2 max interval. And this is then going to allow you to really accumulate good quality time in that VO2 max zone, which is going to allow you to improve your goals and work towards that weakness, rather than jumping on doing all sorts of zones, many different intervals, different durations, and then not actually getting anything from that session because you haven't accumulated the time in the zone you need to be able to improve or work towards your goals and achieve your goal for this winter. And likewise with the threshold there, or whichever zone it might be that you want to improve your endurance, as I said there. So pick some specific maybe zone 2 work that you're going to do, where you're just going to work within that zone 2. Just having this focus though is going to allow you to get on the bike, not be as confused with the intervals that you're doing. A lot easier then to perform that session, as I mentioned, with the gearing as well, because rather than every 30 seconds or 60 seconds or minute and a half having to try and change gear to get into that zone, you're going to be able to have, let's say, some maybe longer blocks where you won't need to change gear as much, and then you can just really focus on the quality there. So yeah, just a tip there. I've been really finding a lot of these sessions very confusing, and as I say, when it comes to training, there is no school like the old school. Keep it simple, really just focus on the zone that you would like to improve or work on as each individual session. You can have, you know, multiple sessions through the week where you will be targeting different zones. Just make sure that that one session has maybe a maximum of 2, maybe max 3 zones that you'll be working in. That way you will really notice a difference with the progress that you'll be making with your power, fitness, FTP and gains through the winter. If you found this video useful, guys, as always, please drop a like on it. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to receive our most recent content. And as always, any comments, would love to hear from you. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy your riding.